Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa. Welcome to another video, and today I am reviewing the book Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase. So this is the third book in the Scoundrels series. I anticipate them all reading like a standalone because this definitely did. I haven't read any of the other books before, but there's a total of 4 books in the series, and there's like a couple short stories as well. So at some point it would be nice to get to the other ones. But I read this one because there's a book club. I think it's called the Rake Society, run by Crystal on her channel, and Jen from the Book Refuge runs it with her. So I don't know, I just really wanted to participate. So this is my review for this specific book. We follow Jessica Trent and Sebastian Ballister. It's their love story. Sebastian, he is a Marquess, but he is very much a scoundrel, that's for sure. He is a rake. The reason why they cross paths is because Jessica is really concerned for her brother. Her brother has been kind of following in Sebastian's footsteps. And so Jessica and her grandmother, who are quite close, which I really enjoyed seeing their relationship, they're more like friends. So anyways, her and her grandmother go to Paris because that's where her brother is, and Sebastian, and kind of confront their brother. They end up staying with her brother, and they cross paths with Sebastian, and there's an automatic connection between Jessica and Sebastian. There's this chemistry right off the bat. She feels huge attraction towards him and vice versa. But his rakishness is really extreme. I don't know if I'm going to go into the details of it specifically, but you can probably guess. He takes on a new sex worker every night. Lots of gambling, lots of partying, things like that. But there's this immediate attraction between the two. So they're both intrigued with each other. But then one night, Sebastian takes it a little bit too far. Jessica's brother was supposed to take her to a party, and he basically abandoned her. He doesn't show up to take her and her grandmother, and it was kind of like the last straw for Jessica. So she confronts him, and she just like goes to his house where things are happening. He's having a party. He's having a really grand old time with some women and his male friends, and I think they're gambling and whatnot. And she hears a gunshot, and she's like, oh my goodness, what's happened? What happened? So she like runs up and just bursts into the party, where obviously she's not invited. And she just sees her brother on the ground, gets really upset, and she realizes, oh, he's just intoxicated. He's just drank too much. And he's like, sorry. And that's kind of the start of their kind of back and forth in the beginning. It does get to the point where the back and forth gets to like extreme heights, which I was just like so here for it. It was so intriguing. Jessica just stands up for herself and stands up against Sebastian, which you can tell he really needs in a woman. She's just so strong. It does get to the point where marriage is the only option for them, and Sebastian is very much a damaged hero. It does open up in the beginning where he had a really rough upbringing. His mother is Italian, and in that era, a lot of English people doesn't take that very kindly. She's a foreigner, and even his own father didn't like her because she was Italian, but he only married her for his money. And so there was a lot of going on in the home life. His mother eventually runs away with one of her lovers. After she ran away, his father basically abandoned him and just sent him off to a boarding school. And at the boarding school, he had a really struggled with a lot of bullying, and he just really gets hardened. And which is why he turns to rakishness. Like, that's one of the reasons why he kind of lives that lifestyle, is because of his past and what he's gone through, and he's never really experienced true love, not even parental love. So I was obsessed with this book for like the first half to maybe like 2/3, and then the last third, I think that's the right percentage, is it really slowed down for me. I wasn't as intrigued, and there was this new plot line regarding Sebastian's son. So he has fathered a son with a woman that he took in, kind of. You know, one of his lovers had a son. That storyline kind of bored me a little bit. It wasn't as engaging for me. I did really like his interaction with his son a lot. I think that was my favorite part for that entire portion of the story, but it was kind of slow after things mostly got resolved for the main relationship. There's also some language in here used when it comes to sex workers that I'm not a huge fan of, but I think it's just a reflection of its time. I think it came out in 1995, so I'm not surprised such language would have been used. And then the woman that he had a son with, I didn't really like the way they villainized her, specifically when it comes to having the child. They make it seemed like it was her fault that she had the child. I wasn't a big fan of it. Again, a product of its time. The thing that just bothers me more is just like not a lot of women at that time could have a lot of control regarding contraception. You know, like there wasn't a lot of options back then. So I just didn't like how he blamed her for that. And it's used, supposedly in the story, she had the child on purpose, and I didn't like her because of the way she treated her son. I just wasn't a huge fan of that. So I did end up giving this 4 stars in the end because of those things. But like the first 2/3 was like amazing. I was so obsessed. I did really like the kind of darker undertones of this historical romance. I definitely feel like it was like a dark romance. So I'm curious to explore dark romances now, having read this and knowing that I do like it. I really liked this one. I gave it 4 stars. I think that's it. So that is my review for this book. I hope you liked it. If you've read this book before, please comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'd love to know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you have not done so, you can follow me on Goodreads and Instagram. And you know what? I want you to keep reading. Bye.